ADA, we start with 1 hour chart. Okay. First of all, if we refer to our analysis, we were expecting the price to drop and we wanted the price to break this low, which is 1.088. As we can see, the price broke, and now we want to see whether even the price almost could take the lowest price, which is 1.03. Okay, now we want to see whether this one can break, and the next one we're looking is almost 1. Okay, as we can see, we have been looking for the price to drop, and when the price was here, we could see it was correcting for a while within this range, and over what we were expecting already we got. But by the way, we don't have any buy setup because we don't see the reversal. Maybe with the next hours we get, or this one the price can drop quite more. And from what we can see here, as we can see, the price broke the low, and what we have here based on the indicators, we have the divergence. So if I put this one in relative to this, okay, now the thing is what's the next and how deep it can go. Okay, because we have been looking for the price to break this low. All right, whether we can get a reversal now or not. Okay, that's why when the price was here, I mentioned if you want to look for buy, we need to get the reversal. We need to get the breakout of this trend line. That's why we didn't buy it. Okay, now we start with the higher time frame. We start with daily chart. All right, based on daily chart, we have been within this down move, and then we have been within this correction, and now we get the down move. All right, we have nothing else to talk about this because it's better we move to forward chart. All right, when we move to forward chart, we have been looking, when the price was within this range, we have been looking for the different possibilities, and one of them was this one that turned to 1 to 3 as a flat for one more drop. This is what we get, and the price broke already. Okay, because we have been mentioning this one can turn to any of this, and we want the price to take the trend line, no take and break. Okay, how deep it can go, whether we should look for buy or not. Even we want to look for buy, we don't have the reversal. First of all, we want to see how deep this one can go. And even we mentioned if there is a continuation, we can look for 0.9. Okay, I don't want to say this one is continuously going to 0.9. I want to say we should be aware if we want to look for buy, the possibility of the price can drop to 0.9. That's why we need to get the reversal. At least we see, like based on 1 hour chart, we have a divergence, and based on forward chart, we want to see what we have. Exactly, we get the divergence. All right, no, we can, if we get any buy setup, we can trade it. If we do that, we cannot jump into the trade because we are not sure how deep it can go. Okay, roughly we can say maybe it can continue even to 0.09, 0.9. Okay, by the way, when the price was here, we mentioned even there is a continuation for the up move. This is what 1.31. If the price drop, this is what we were looking for, 0.9. Okay, because when the price was within this move, we mentioned we want to put this correction in relative to this when we have been within this range. But what we get here was quite a longer time because we have been when the correction become, we spend for a long time in the corrective move, and this correction turned to a 1 to 3 internally flat. All right, that's why when the price was within this move, I mentioned still we can expect the price to break this low. I get a lot of the comments. They ask me, they said, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is what we see right now. Okay. And even when the price was within this move, we mentioned let the price drop, finish this. Right now, we can see finish. The only question is when we put this one relative to this in terms of the time and length, this one become quite longer. Is including 3 waves. All right. Now, from now, if we get any reversal, we can look for buy. But without the reversal, without trade setup for buy, we cannot trade it because still the price can drop quite a lot. Okay. And now if we move to 1 hour chart, right now we can see the price drop, broke, and almost near to what we were expected. But right now we don't have any trade setup. That's why we just wait. And one more things. When we have this down move, we get this. But this one, the way it was correcting is not similar to what we have here. How about if the price give us one more correction similar to that for one more drop? We should be aware about this. All right. That means if the price start to up move as a corrective, we cannot buy anymore. All right, what we want sharp flag. Okay, what I want to say is that we have to see the reversal, similar to what we have here. We get the sharp flag, we could buy. But if we see it's not moving, we take out the trade. We don't stay with the trade. Okay. No, we don't have any trade set up to look for buy. The only thing is we want to see how deep this one can go. Because right now we want to see whether there is a continuation with the breakout of this low or not before we look for buy. All right. As I say, we have not, I mean, we cannot buy right now because if we buy, we should be lucky that the price sharply reverse without dropping much. It's like if we buy right now, is the risk is already high because we usually if we want to buy, we need to get the reversal and we need to get the trade set up. All right, because we don't want to buy or trade based on lock. Okay, that's why I mentioned we have to wait for the reversal. Okay, and but what we were expected the price drop. That's mean what we were expected to happen. Because when the price was within this move, we mentioned we want the price to break this low before we look for buy. No, if traders they want to buy, if they have their own strategy, from now they can look for buy. Because already we can confirm this move is finished. The only thing is how deep it can go. By the way, in this case, we just follow the chart. We see how we can trade it. And one more thing I need to highlight here. I see some of the traders, or whether they're traders or they invest, they put the comment they bought about around I think 1.4 or something like that. Okay, for me, when I share my analysis, it was so clear. I was keep mentioning the price can drop even when the price was within this move. That's why a lot of the they leave a lot of the comments that I don't know what I'm talking because simply it was so clear the price can correct itself. And even when the price was within this range, we mentioned we can get one more correction, at least similar to what we have here for one more drop. That's why when the price was within this range, I mentioned the way it's moving is really corrective. We have to be careful because we put a lot of the different, not a lot, a few different option how we can trade it. And one of them was 1, 2, 3 with the breakout of this low. It simply just happened. That's clear. We have this one. Okay, what I want to say that when we want to buy, we need to know where is it and how deep it can go, and at least we should have the trade set up. We cannot simply jump into the market and buy that, because when we have this move, we know every time the price, it was so clear, every time the price broke the previous stops, start to drop, start to correct, and what we have here exactly. All right. And when we have this kind of the correction, usually we can see it so clear this one can give us one more drop. That's why we mentioned whether this one can be 1, 2, 3, or even I mentioned we can get one more drop. We can get 1, 2, 3 internally with one move up in relative to this. That's why I mentioned if we get this one, if we get become more complex, the next level is 1.31. But it didn't become that complex. Only 1, 2, 3 for one more drop, right? And right now we wanted is happen. Now we want to see how deep it can go, because as we can see there is a breakout of the trend line. But usually we mention that the breakout of the trend line, the trend line is just indicative for us. It doesn't give us a signal. All right. And as we can see, we have a divergence. But right now we want to see how deep it can go. And if we get any reversal, we look for buy. It depends on the traders, what type of the strategy they use. All right. The only thing is when we want to buy, we have to get the trade set up. Like we cannot buy simply at this highest price because it was so clear that these things have to correct itself. And even when the price was here, we mentioned this one cannot be only correction. We have to get one more. And even I point on this, if I put this one, I move to this, I see I don't see the divergence. That's why mostly we will expect what we get here. At least we get one more for one more drop. That's why at that times I point on the running flat. But the only thing was this one become more complex. Still, we can look for running flat. Just this wave is not, this move is not similar to what we have here. It got internally 3 waves. Okay. By the way, right now we're looking at we're looking to buy. The only thing is what we were expected happen. The only thing is we need to get the buy set of reversal before we jump into the trade. All right. And again, We just follow the chart. We see if I see any update or any changes, then from there I will share. Thanks.